Hey, everybody. Welcome to What Drives Us, episode 309 for February 27th, 2019, the penultimate day of February. Yay, short month, almost over.
Yay.
Those of you who get paid in the first and the end of the month or whatever it is, first to the 15th, you're,
Tomorrow.
Yay! We have a great show. We have lots of news, lots of exciting ranting to look forward to from me. If you look forward to that, if not, my apologies in advance. Let's introduce the cast of characters and get going. My co-host on this show, my wingman in Chicago, Illinois, tropical paradise that it is, Mr. Tony Schaefer.
Yeah, so tropical as can be. So I'm opening myself up to more humility. I'm drinking my bingo beer tonight. I got a case worth, and it tastes just as good this week as it did last week.
Yay, bingo beer.
I have to get it in tonight because I'm starting the 3-day challenge of not consuming any alcohol for the 3 days of February 29th, 30th, and 31st.
That is a very respectable challenge, sir.
Yes, I'm doing it for charity.
I you know what? God bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you.
I know it's about time someone says it.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of a man who's not drinking for charity, I don't know. Maybe he is drinking for charity. It's hard to say, but I have watched him eat dried seaweed today. Our man in South Carolina, Mr. Casey Green.
What's up, everybody? It is still 55 and rainy. But I'm getting ready to go to sunny Florida and watch a rocket blast off, so that'll be fun.
Nice.
Falcon Heavy, right?
Just a regular Falcon 9 with the Crew Dragon.
Oh, that's right. This is the Dragon test. You mentioned this on the Tesla Life.
I did.
We just finished doing not 60 minutes ago.
That's right. And then we're going to go to Universal. Well, before that, we're going to go to Universal. And then we're going to stay up till 2 a.m. Watch a rocket blast.
It's not morning drinking if you haven't slept.
This is true.
Exactly. So there'll be lots of cute pictures on your Facebook of Universal.
Yes.
I always look forward to those.
Speaking
of cute pictures, our man in Canada, he just got another 5 feet of snow last night. No, it was 5 inches, but it feels like 5 feet when you're Mark's age.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. In fact, between the shows, I was out shoveling again.
Oh man.
The fun never ends, let me tell you. The fun never ends.
Is there any place better to be in the winter than Canada?
No. Not at all.
I would
can't think of one place, San Diego. Not one place.
Not one place. This is normally the part of the show where I would introduce Paul Guzik. You may see him on your screen as just an avatar with no mic, but Paul clearly had to step away for a moment. So Paul Guzik from BoulderHC.com, Boulder Hybrids in Boulder, Colorado, is here with us as he usually is. So let's start the news, and hopefully Paul will join us. Is there a comment there that customer. Okay. Yeah. So Paul will be back with us in a little bit. First up this week is an article in Green Tech Media that piqued my interest. And by piqued my interest, I meant sent all of my bullshit alarms ringing very, very, very loudly. And I am sure that Emma Foringer, or maybe Forringer, I'm not sure, Merchant, the author, is a fine person and certainly meant well. But sometimes a little bit of knowledge is a horrible thing. This article is entitled "Tesla Powerwalls Are in High Demand. Installers Just Don't Have Them."
I can speak to that.
Can you?
Yes. I had a pair of Powerwalls signed over to me, and as we know, Tesla doesn't operate in South Carolina. Well, as we know from the last show, so it is illegal for Tesla to operate in South Carolina, and so there's an installer that can actually get the Powerwalls. He said if he can move things up, I am looking at the third quarter for my free ones. Not that I sold the 4 cars, but one of my Facebook friends moved to Spain before there was a no transfer policy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I know. I'm going to need it. We are now 2 years in after he signed them over. So
Yeah, that's not unusual at all. Tesla's had a problem delivering Powerwall
delivering anything.
since it came out, and there's been various excuses that and certainly all of them are good, I guess, right? Like we're using all the batteries for Australia, we're using all the batteries for Puerto Rico, we're using all the batteries for Model 3.
Yes.
The odd thing to me is when you have a gigafactory and it's not producing giga amounts,
right,
you have a problem. Now, Tesla is certainly addressing this, they say, by adding another line to produce batteries that will increase their output. However, they don't say that directly that it will address the issues that Powerwall has had for years, which is years of delay.
Yeah.
Customers who have deposits haven't gotten them. And the interesting part of this article is that it talks about a big part of the article is that other installers, third parties, can't get Powerwalls. And yet, and I have to look and see, only 12% of solar installers carry Tesla's Powerwall. The thing is, and this is how confusing Tesla communication can be. Tesla has always said internally that they don't sell Powerwall through third parties.
Correct. They say that,
which we know to be false.
Yes.
Because they do sell Powerwall through third parties, but again, they're very supply limited, which is odd. Like if you can't get enough to satisfy your own Tesla solar customers, why would you be selling it to Sunrun?
That's a good point.
Make a lot of sense, does it? But
they have Microsoft level communication skills.
That's really putting it kindly. Really putting it kindly. It's an interesting strategy for Tesla. Again, this seems to be kind of a common theme where we announce something, we make it allegedly, but we don't actually ship it.
Yeah, the 5 people I've heard of that actually have them really love them, but
well, there's no doubt it's a great product. It's just
that's the problem. Yeah, I mean, like Mark said, and like Casey, you just said, the problem is they made a few of them. They're great products, and people love them.
Yeah.
And then Russell said, "Oh yeah, but we're not making any more, or we're making them so infrequently that like what it said in the article here was something like 2 out of 3 people are directly asking people." 56% of consumers ask for the Powerwall. That's, oh my God, how many companies would love that level of demand?
Yeah.
Yes.
And yet, Tesla can't make them, which means they're not making money.
Which shove them in the Model 3.
Selling things, and they're selling Model 3s.
Yeah.
This is part of a bigger picture that I think is a lot more dysfunctional than people fully appreciate. And there's an internal hypocrisy that really sticks to my craw. I want to show you Exhibit B in my internal hypocrisy on solar. Let's go to the tape, as they say. I'm going to show you 5 pictures, and I want you to tell me what all these pictures have in common. Okay. Everybody get this? See that? There's 1.
All right.
There's 2. There's 3. There's 4. And there's 5. Anybody see the commonality there?
Multi-million-dollar mansions.
Is it because I can't afford a single one of them?
Right? The pools? Maybe the pools?
You would all be right. So,
that's a pretty small solar array.
In fact, oddly enough, four of these properties are located within a mile of each other. In the very Tony Brentwood neighborhood of Los Angeles. These are all homes owned by Elon Musk.
They're not very solar-y.
Yeah, there's no solar on them.
His neighbors have some.
Neighbors have some.
Are those the homes he flies between?
These are, by the way, these are the homes that he just mortgaged for $61 million.
Oh
God.
So just so you know, this one on the
one for each of his boys, and one for him.
Only one that we know of that he actually lived in.
Is he just buying up the whole town?
I don't know. It's odd that he bought five actually, but one of them he didn't mortgage. There's 5 properties in this Brentwood neighborhood that are just, and he just scooping them up, man, scooping them up.
Wow.
Well, he's got 5 boys, so that's their when he if he kicks the bucket on Mars, each of his boys has a house.
And the fact that there are no big trees around, yeah, they would be perfect contenders for.
Except for this one right here with the palm tree shadow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a huge shadow.
And it's a flat roof too, which makes it difficult. Look, again, this isn't like a gotcha game. Like, oh, Elon should have solar on all of his houses. That said, my problem with Elon Musk and solar is that he's always been full of shit on it.
Was one of them the solar roof house? I didn't.
No, one was not the solar roof house.
Okay, because he's got one of those somewhere.
I don't think he owns that house. But
no, I don't think he does. I remember reading about it last year.
Yeah, I'm not. That's my understanding. Now I could be wrong. But here's the problem is that it's one thing we've talked a lot on the show about companies and people who put on halos that maybe they don't deserve. So-and-so makes a hybrid. So all of a sudden, all their other big, horrible vehicles are supposed to be better. And we get that. Like, it's good that they do make the hybrid, but that doesn't make the rest of their business any cleaner. And Elon Musk has made a lot of promises about solar superchargers, solar sails, solar tiles, Powerwall, things like this that would make things better and there are customers waiting for these things. Yet he hasn't even put them on his own house. He can't get them out to customers that have already paid for them.
He has a scaling problem, like getting stuff out there in volume.
I don't think it's a scaling problem, Casey, because Solar Roof isn't a scaling problem. Solar Roof is literally an obfuscation problem. It doesn't exist.
There's 3 of them.
Yeah, 3.
and you can tell that it doesn't exist by what Tesla has said about them. And again, I have a little inside knowledge here and what I know, which is that they still haven't really figured out how to cross connect all the tiles. And that's why they haven't deployed this more widely. It has nothing to do with regulators or manufacturer or anything. There's a whole big factory in Buffalo sitting there doing nothing. I'm sorry?
I watched the firefighter training on the roof, and they did a scene where it looks like it's a regular height roof, and then the fireman steps on the tiles and he slips. I'm like, oh crap! And it was it was on the ground and slid off and stood up.
Ouch! Yeah. That would be very difficult on a glass roof with water.
And I believe the fact that these roofs aren't the roofs they're elevated. I don't want to say levitate or hover or whatever, but they're aren't they elevated from the roof?
Yeah.
What's that? Solar panels?
Yeah, the Tesla roof is on a I don't know, a structure or something, but they're not like flat, like nailed.
Solar roof tiles?
Yeah.
Solar roof tiles are flat.
They lay on the roof. Yes.
Yeah.
There is
correct.
They flip up off of. So they might have a half inch of elevation.
Okay, I thought, okay, my bad. Yeah, I'm looking at a picture right now.
Yeah,
and I actually thought that I saw another picture in which there was a substructure that elevated.
That's probably the Tesla panels.
Yes.
They have an air gap under them with a structure.
Yeah, Tesla bought a company that had a really cool puck mounting system that now is exclusive to Tesla Solar, which is spiffy.
There it is. Okay, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Solar City.
And that's their solar panels. Yeah, Solar City.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah.
Again, this isn't about me like trying to score points because I don't win anything if Tesla doesn't ship solar products. what makes me sad is that Tesla had this promise and had this, it could leverage this brand name and this reputation to put more solar out there, which is good for all of us. And yet they haven't been able to follow through on that. And that's what irritates me.
It's like you just said, you said, I don't win if they don't ship these products, but we all win if they do.
Absolutely.
That's the frustrating part. And people want the roof, people want the battery, people want the car. And of those three, it's like all the effort seems to be focused on the car.
But is it Tony, that they just don't have the capacity, and it's, you know what, we've got to choose the lesser of two evils. We have to pick what we need to pick.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's all there is to it. Since there is not enough capacity, we are picking the car over the solar or over the power walls, and that's the way we have to do it.
Yep, and then
is that the case? Is that where is it? And if that is the case, they're making the selection based on what they feel is A, either the highest profit, or B, suits their needs at that point.
Yeah, same with Giga 2. Giga 2 is also running slower than it's supposed to, just like Giga 1. And same thing with the profit. You make more profit off of a flat, regular panel than you do off of the beautiful roof tiles at the moment, until they can get the installation cost down.
Yeah,
and the time down too. Yeah.
I would disagree. It has nothing to do with installation costs. It has to do with the product isn't developed yet.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So if they have to custom install each of these and then figure out how to work the connectors and then make sure it works, it takes them 4 days versus the regular one they get done in half a day.
In half a day. But don't get me wrong. It's not a matter of increasing installation time. We're talking about the fundamental way these things work with each other. They haven't really figured that out yet.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, because the ones they have done, they've basically hand constructed them and made them work, but they can't replicate it because they didn't follow any standard.
Right, exactly. Because the product hasn't been developed and tested and vetted, and it's not ready for production.
Yeah.
Where does that sound familiar?
Very common with this guy.
Yeah. Mark?
I agree. We hear this. This isn't an isolated incident. This is a lot. There tends to be a lot of talk and marketing ahead of what actually is the reality, and that's the case here.
For a company with 2 gigafactories, quote unquote, and a third one being built, they're not good at producing things.
Not yet.
They have issues. Yeah. They absolutely do.
And how many companies would like to have that problem? Hey, people will buy these things. We just can't get them to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They would scramble.
The only thing we can hope is that they will learn things over time as they stumble across themselves. That's the only thing we can hope. Like, really, it's because, like you said, we're all losing if they can't ship them out because, less people get off the grid, less people share the load of the electricity grid. So we all want them to succeed, but there is some inherent problems that they run into over and over again.
It seems like they have to learn the lessons over and over again from the start. So like with the Roadster, they learned, all right, and then they got the battery construction down, but that was it. And then the Model S came, and they figured out how to build a car, even though they were assembling them.
I think the real test, if Tesla can learn from their mistakes, is going to be the China Gigafactory.
And the Model Y.
If they can actually roll the car out in a more organized fashion, we will see.
And then if they can fix service and sales and deliveries.
Well, again, those are all new problems that are coming their way.
Well, hopefully one will help diminish the others.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Assuming Elon doesn't get tossed out of the company.
Yeah, if he doesn't get tossed, go to jail, pay too many fines, and if he can keep up the goodwill of the public, the customers. As long as he's got enough of those things.
Now that you bring that up, I have to say, or maybe that might help the company focus on what needs to be done. Could be.
Well, our next story is something brand new that Tony's going to talk about.
I think it was me.
Was it you?
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Mark is all
Tony
over this.
and Mark. You're right. Mark's name is even on it. Mark Coughlin, would you tell us about this brand new thing?
Yeah. Today, actually this morning, there was a introduction of a new all-electric vehicle
I
from
got it.
Polestar. And Polestar has unveiled what they're calling the Gen 2, or the, I guess it's just Polestar 2, is an all-electric vehicle that's going to start around $45,000 US, with a range of 275 miles. They indicated it was a European standard, although this article says EPA. I'm not sure if that's the case.
Yeah.
During the announcement, they did talk about the European standard, not the EPA. This article from Inside EVs says EPA, but I guess we'll see. It's going to come in basically two flavors. There's going to be a high-end and a regular version, and the difference is going to be about 45,000 US is for the low end, and about 70,000 for the high end. This car is being developed, and this was a ground up development. The car's got a 78 kilowatt battery in the higher version, and it does have a dual motor in both vehicles, the standard and the premium. The car will do a 0 to 60 in approximately 4.7 seconds. And the car is it's a sedan with 5 seats. The car also is going to come with some limited colors. Actually, if you like gray, they have many colors of gray. I was kind of surprised, only 6 colors, and there's like 3 grays and 2 blacks. Like it's really limited on colors. But hey, to each their own. The car is going to there is a Snow White that they're offering, but the other thing that they mentioned is that it's going to be available in California, Canada, and Europe.
Interesting.
It's a bizarre. Why not the East Coast, the U.S.? Why not ZEV states? Like it's only California and Canada.
So are they building
Europe?
Are they building it in the South Carolina plant?
No, they're starting to build in Europe, and they'll be
Oh.
shipping them over.
That might be why only California.
Maybe.
Yeah, because it's so close to Europe.
So
Well, no,
I was
just
gonna
for the ZEV credits.
Right, of
Because if
course.
they were building it here, then it would make sense to hit all the ZEV states.
Yeah.
Right.
So they also mentioned the other thing is that they unveiled the car today. They drove it out on stage, but it's not available, or they believe their target date is going to be February of 2020. The first models will roll out. So they're basically announcing it 11 months ahead of schedule. And they will work on rolling it out. Now, you may remember there is a Polestar 1, which was a hybrid vehicle, 150 kilometers of range, and then it had a gasoline generator to give you more. That car was in very limited production. It was a $155,000 car, and there was only 500 models scheduled to be built, 200 of which were going to North America. Of course, they're all sold, and 300 in Europe. And those cars have not even hit the market yet. They're supposed to hit the market late this spring. So the Polestar 1 will be introduced late this spring, and the Polestar 2 that we saw, which is an all-electric vehicle, the Polestar 2, will be unveiled or be delivered February of 2020.
So is the Polestar 1 canceled after this?
They didn't say that, but it certainly has a limited build.
Yeah.
I wouldn't surprise me if they don't go beyond too much as to what the 500 initial. Like, how can you make money on a 500 amount of cars? Like, I can't see it, even if it's $155,000.
It sounded
Like-
to me when they first brought it out like it was going to be a Halo car, because everybody was cursing them. Why is it got gas in it if you're an electric brand?
Exactly. So it is something that it's almost like they had to start with something and get it out quicker.
Yeah.
and then build the electric in the background. But again, this spring for the Gen 1, the hybrid, and then all electric in 2020.
So I'm reading the article here, and some people and Eric in the chat was saying that the Polestar 2 production, it says it'll be manufactured in China and available in 2020.
I can't pronounce it. Chengdu.
So I know we were saying Europe.
My mistake.
Okay, so if I say we welcome all EVs, it's great that companies are making them.
Yeah.
Yay for more consumer choices. That's better.
Yeah.
But who cares about Polestar?
It's another model. It's another model.
Right. But it's not really filling an unfilled niche.
No, they're going after the Model 3.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Well, I guess they can't. They don't want to go after the S40, which is what they're doing.
I don't know. I for some reason this seemed like this is news and it's important and it's good. But I just wonder if Volvo's in over their head, and again,
how will they handle the transition? It's going to be a quick crossover between Polestar and Volvo, unless they're going to do electrics at Volvo.
Yeah, I think I don't know if they know what they're going to do.
At least they're trying, unlike some of the others.
Yes.
I even if the first one comes out and stumbles a bit, I mean, I hope they learn and keep going. You know, as much as we kind of critique Tesla for body panels that don't necessarily match up and paint that doesn't match, and I hope Polestar jumps in and does something and then keeps going and improves.
Yep.
It's good to see another group in. Like whether or not it'll be successful, I guess we will find out. But it looks like they're well financed. They're actually building a car. They have a plant, and the cars will start to arrive this spring, hybrid first. So
Eric Stevens in the chat brings up some really good points on the car.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's bringing in Google services, so it'll have Google Assistant, Google Maps, Google Play Store 5, natural voice control.
And I like the way they do their hatchback too.
If you got a few minutes looking at the video that's connected to the article, it's fairly impressive. It really reminded me of an Apple unveil when I watched it. Like really, like
wow, you
couldn't get a lot closer than like even down to what the presenter was wearing, black. It was very Steve Jobs was all over it.
I got nothing else.
Yeah,
I got nothing else. The next story. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, let's see it launch.
There we go. The next story is maybe one of the classic examples of the Osborne effect. Does anybody know what the Osborne effect is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You do?
Yeah. This young whippersnapper.
Impress me.
So that's when Ozzy Osbourne.
No, not that one. The Osborne computer was about to launch, and the CEO announced the Osborne 2. And nobody bought the Osborne, and they ran out of business.
Yes, before the 2 could come out.
Yeah, the CEO was just talking about how great the version 2 is as he was launching version 1, and everyone decided, I may as well wait.
As it turns out, there's this little company called Chevrolet. Chevrolet has about 9,000 Corvettes sitting on dealer lots right now. Now, when I say they have 9,000 sitting on dealer lots, I don't mean they have like the brand new one that they've already talked about. And that's no. Mm-hmm. This is the old one. 9,000 Corvettes. This is equates to a 232-day inventory supply. Wow, bummer, guys.
Damn.
It could be something about the retooling for the new version that they're going to have to wait a while. So therefore, they started to push out cars ahead of schedule to have them in stock still. That could be part of it.
You know what I'd rather have a Model 3 performance with track mode.
Well, I don't think you'd have any problem selling that on this show.
Right. I was gonna say, and that's why you're on this show and not the Corvette show. But,
There you go.
I
Well,
mean,
Masters cheaper
and of
three extra
course,
people.
and of course, there is the issue that after Christmas things are slow, right?
Yeah.
Sales pick up in the spring.
yeah. Mark's got a good point. Stocking up because we know that the next one, or they know or whatever, the C8 is coming. But is it going to take almost a year to retool? Because right now that's the inventory. It's
Well, that's one of the
260
benefits.
days, 232 days.
Yeah, but that's one of the benefits of a dealer network. You can just shove them shits off on somebody else, and you count it as a profit.
mhm.
Unlike one of our other makers that has to deal with having an inventory.
Right. Chevrolet's already sold them.
Yeah,
In their
they're done.
books.
They got their money.
Right. That's the
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing. It's the dealers that are hating life right now.
Yes.
Yeah. And then the other thing, of course, that Mark pointed out is you don't see a lot of Corvettes with winter tires.
No.
Oh,
So-
that's true.
Not really moving this time
Which
of
is
year.
funny for a plastic car, because I mean, like, not afraid of salt.
Risen.
Yeah.
Our next story it comes from Casey Green.
Yes. Oh, no, don't autoplay. So I was talking about. I don't see it on my list.
Uh-oh.
I'm talking about a certain somebody who shouldn't be on Twitter, right?
Well, I mean, that's the gist of it, but
Yeah.
certainly that person feels like they should be on Twitter.
They do. So Elon Musk was again typing away on the Twitter, and and about a week after he did it, he said some items that were well, first he was wrong, and then he corrected it within 4 hours. But all of this was after the market had closed, and then about a week later he gets called up. The SEC wants him in front of a judge for contempt because he didn't run it through moderator.
That's it.
Well, they said it was material, but it wasn't because it was exactly what he published
Well,
earlier.
it's certainly arguable that it's material.
Yeah.
Because it was material information from the quarterly report.
That was already published.
Right. But when your CEO publishes something that Tesla has said in writing, he will publish material information about Tesla through his Twitter account.
Yeah. He
So
didn't have a
when he
babysitter. was the
changes
problem.
that still counts. There's like no backsies or anything.
Yeah. He should have had the babysitter, and he should have typed it right the first time.
Okay. Now, so he misstep or didn't, or he gave out material information that may or may not have already been out there, or he didn't, or whatever. But, what's
potential penalties?
what is worse of that? Okay, so
Who's watching porn? Come on.
It was your
Sorry, that was
Bloomberg
me.
article started to
Oh,
play.
I was gearing up for the RedTube article that was coming up. So it's, people say that every action has two phases, the action and then the reaction, right?
Yes.
So he tweeted something, the SEC said, okay, that was really bad. Then he comes back and says something is broken with SEC oversight. SEC forgot to read Tesla earnings transcript, which clearly states 350,000 to 550,000. How embarrassing. And then literally this emoji.
Yeah.
I mean, holy crap. You don't do that unless you want to go in front of a congressional court.
He said
Maybe
he
that's
respects
where he
judges,
wants
but not
to
the
be.
SEC. Yeah.
Maybe that's where he wants to be.
Maybe he feels he get a better shake in front of a judge instead of the SEC.
God.
I
mean,
just I don't get it.
Yeah.
He's yeah. As I said earlier, I want some of the shit that he's smoking because he's not making good decisions, in my opinion. My opinion.
So that was the other thing is like he announced that nothing happened. The stock was solid. They said, oh, he's contemptuous, and the stock went down like $8 that day. And then today, as he's mocking them, the stock goes up $15.
right.
Something is wrong with the stock market.
So what are you saying?
Well, I'm saying that the SEC has hurt the stock more than the CEO has.
Oh,
Ah. So the
That's
SEC
the
just needs to leave
contention.
him alone.
Yeah, I don't know that
Well,
I
I'm not
could.
saying that. I mean, everybody must follow, proper procedures and protocols, and he's got a legal agreement on top of that.
Mhm.
So,
And that's not happening, is it?
well, it doesn't appear to. He needs a new babysitter if he's got one.
I don't think he has one.
He's never had a
I'm
babysitter.
giving him the
Let's be
benefit of a
clear.
doubt. He might have one. If he does, they suck.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
If he has one, it's his cat.
if he has one, it's
Fluffy
his,
said it was all right.
it's his nanny. So then today, he posts this.
Retweeted, but
Retweeted
yes.
Elon Tusk, of course, because he's Elon Tusk now. He's not Elon Musk anymore.
geez.
Now he's
Yeah.
Elon Tusk. And we can argue about the details, and we will in the photograph. But what I find interesting is that it's 74 miles an hour on autopilot, and we have a photo with no hands on the wheel.
Well, there's no hands anywhere in the picture.
So what are we promoting here as the CEO of the company? And let me make another. As a CEO of the company, is he promoting what he should be promoting?
Well, I think he's
Responsible
promoting the
use
tech.
of their products, or is he playing a game? Is he kind of getting around it, going, "Oh, well, they had a hand on the wheel, you just couldn't see it."
I don't think you can call him out on this because first of all, you can't see the entire wheel. And
Right.
secondly, it looks like he's on a highway and he's doing a 1 mile underneath the limit of if it's 75 miles
If
an
it's
hour.
75, yeah. And then
I don't think you can call him out on it. I really
Okay.
don't. I think
and then the
it's-
guy who posted it is a public figure. He's he teaches people about space. He's also kind of a space reporter, more of a space educator,
blogger.
and
Yep.
vlogger. And he said my wife took the picture. My left hand was on the wheel, and you see that would be a weird angle for him to be able to pull off and still be out of the shot. And
That's
you
because
can't see the left side of the
climbed
wheel.
into the back seat
Okay.
to take the picture.
Well, if you get out of the chair, then it stops in the middle of the road, turns on the flashers, and beeps at you.
Does it really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, because the first week that autopilot was available, some dumbass got in the back seat. Another one got out of the panoramic sunroof and was car surfing, and so they very quickly had to put limits on the system.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
Go figure. Well, okay. I think fair people can disagree. And
I agree.
I think somebody who's under scrutiny from the Securities and Exchange Commission, somebody who has clashed in social media, probably should be kind of a little bit careful, but
No argument there.
not Elon. Our next story. Actually, Tony has the next 3 stories. Damn, go Tony!
How does
Well,
that
they're all
happen?
sort of-
I-
yeah. Okay. So the
I just
first
wanted
one-
to take a nap. Good night, guys.
All right, I'm out.
Yeah. Sorry, real quick. Hockey Day has a point. The Tim Dodd tweet is about SpaceX. So if they want to get on about that, then they're gonna have to make him have a separate account per company, and they'll have a personal account, so that'll be good.
All right.
He has a personal account. I mean,
Well,
that's what he
it's-
uses.
It's the whole thing, yeah. But if you make him do a separate account per company, while he's in there, he can make one that's just for him.
Hey, they can't control him on one account. If he's got multiples,
Yeah.
look out.
I mean, cheers to Hockey
Pandemonium.
Day, right? For coming up with that. I just don't like. Let's be realistic. The problem is Elon. Elon just doesn't agree on how to use social media. He wants to do whatever he wants to do, and cheers to him for that. But,
Yeah.
He
did delete his Facebook and Instagram and anything else that Zuck owns.
So that he could focus all of his.
I got
I'm sorry
nothing.
for interrupting. It was
No. Tony, tell us about the price gouging.
So
This
if
is a lovely
anyone,
story.
so I know that everyone has seen my Hyundai Kona from the Chicago Auto Show, the Hyundai Kona EV. Everyone has gone and watched that.
give it a
Watched
thumbs
that.
up.
And if you haven't, shame on you. I'm going to slap your wrist. Go watch that. The Kona Electric is a really cool car. It's a really nice car. It's a good size. It's not a huge SUV. It's kind of a crossover, and 258 miles expected range. It's a little bigger than the Bolt. So if you're considering a Chevy Bolt, go look at the Kona.
I don't know if it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah, sitting in the back seat there was kind of really uncomfortable for me. But I don't know. But definitely go look at it. There's probably a better chance that Hyundai's not going to kill the Kona as much as there is that Chevy will kill the Bolt. But
Tony, you're making friends everywhere.
What did I say?
Is it closer to like the RAV4 or closer to the Bolt?
Yeah, it's closer to the Bolt than the RAV4.
Okay.
Yeah, in the video I do some comparisons with the RAV4, and it definitely comes up much shorter than the RAV4. So I think it's a great car. I think Hyundai and Kia are just killing it with battery cars. I mean, we were talking a couple of weeks ago, a few shows ago, we did battery efficiency, and up there, like number 2 was Hyundai.
Yeah, and they're also the fastest production
15 years
charging
ago,
cars.
You never would have expected to see Hyundai leading any of these lists in car, in car reliabilities and efficiencies.
Mm-hmm.
But that sets the stage for what is happening now, which Inside EVs has reported that Hyundai dealers are marking up $5,000 to $8,000 over MSRP for Hyundai Kona reservations. Come on, people. I mean, I realize they're in demand, and I just finished saying how great of cars they are, but price gouging and EV, we're trying to push adoption here, and that's just stupid and ugly and greedy.
Why do you hate America, Tony?
Oh my God, you don't have time.
Why do you hate America?
A lot of it is for shit like this, because dealerships exist to protect the consumers from the manufacturers themselves.
Yeah.
Right. That's right. Dealerships do exist to protect the consumer. I've heard that said many times.
Many times. And
in this case, they're protecting the consumer from getting too good a deal on a vehicle.
Exactly.
They're selling them at a fair price,
exactly.
market price.
They claim to protect us from the manufacturer going out of business, but when Hummer went out and Buick went out, you were SOL unless your local Chevy dealer wanted to deal with you.
Yeah,
you're right.
Pontiac.
Ooh. Yeah, Pontiac too.
Yeah. But this, I just 5,000 to 10,000 above on the car, and not to mention that. I mean, the reason they can get away with this is because apparently word is getting out, and people are now really anxious to get this car, and people want to get on waiting lists to get this car.
Well, these dealerships that do this, when I used to sell cars, my stores would never do this. What they don't realize is after you can get them at a discount or at normal price, people are going to remember the stores that were charging $8,000 over the price. And it doesn't do well for you.
You get a quick win, but not a lifetime customer.
Exactly. A little profit hit.
Yeah, huge difference there. Yeah, you're exactly right. Now, for right now, the Kona EV is only available, or it's not even yet available, but it will be available in CARB states. So, we're looking at all the states that adhere to the California Air Regulatory Board. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to see it here in Illinois, probably for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
By then, hopefully, they'll be down to a regular price. And even then, by then, this is the Kona, and the Kia Niro EV will be out as well. So I'll definitely be able to compare them 1-to-1. But I saw this and I needed to talk about it and just kind of rant at the dealerships who are charging above MSRP.
Yeah.
It sucks. It's just, I get it. It's supply and demand.
Yeah.
And the dealers have them and they can gouge people. It's happened with lots of other cars. This isn't particular to
in lots of industries like concerts, theater shows.
Right. And then the next thing that Russell was alluding to, so allow me to interrupt for a word from our sponsors. Facebook.com/whatdrivesus. We are our own sponsors. So if you go to Facebook, you can direct message us. You can post things on our Facebook page. And the reason I bring this up right now is because Andrew Chang sent us a link to an article about the the EV
yeah.
revolution in going on in China right now, and in particular, a manufacturer that. Oh my God!
Are you okay?
Yeah, I actually just spaced on the
Neo?
Neo.
Neo.
Mm-hmm.
I got because I've been saying Kia so much. I was gonna say Kia.
Nio, Neo.
Kia, Neo, Nio.
Yeah.
Yeah. N-I-O.
NIO, yes, Neo. And so 60 Minutes did a piece here about Neo, and in particular, is it Michael? It's not Michael Dunn, but the owner, the head of
William Lee.
yeah, I was going to screw that up.
That's okay.
And he's not just building electric vehicles. He's building an entire culture around selling electric vehicles. And it's really interesting. If you get the chance, check it out, cbsnews.com. And what he's done is, we talk about the cult of Tesla. He is literally like intentionally creating a cult around Neo.
So can you call him China's Elon Musk?
Yeah, in fact, no, yeah, and that's kind of what he's aspiring to. So you can go to the dealerships, and they have clubhouses where literally you have to be a member of the club to get into the house. Is kind of the way it's phrased. It's a social gathering. They have educational sessions where you can learn not only about your car, but one thing they did about making a cup of espresso. So you could be a coffee connoisseur, and they have playgrounds for the kids. So your kids can play around while you are there. And they interviewed one guy who bought the car, and even though he could have bought a bunch of different cars, he went with Neo because of the social life that comes with purchasing the car.
Yeah, you said he would be able to gain more friends.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Sounds like early Tesla.
It kind of does. And you know what? And even Saturn.
Membership has its privileges.
There you go.
Yeah, that was the one thing that did remind me, kicking it back to the 1980s, was Saturn, where they had the free car washes came in, and then like every Sunday they had gatherings, and it was a big social event. It's exactly that. Only these are really sharp electric vehicles that they're selling. And he's a self-made billionaire, I guess. 44-year-old and they kind of talked through how he kind of built up.
Did he invent PayPal or something?
The Chinese PayPal.
Yeah.
He invented WeChat.
But so it was really neat. It was very interesting. There's a couple of videos. So yeah, I really do recommend people go. And on YouTube, you can look. It's 60 Minutes Overtime, where the journalist talks about her experience over there, and then you can read and watch the interview. And then that brought me to.
Can I just add one superficial thing to show you how shallow I am?
Yeah, of course. We expect it.
Yeah, exactly. I just love them because does anybody know who the CEO of Neo in America is?
No.
Former Tesla guy, right?
Padma Warrior. And I've never met Ms. Warrior, but damn, that is a name, okay?
Yeah.
That is a name. Elon
Right, so
Musk, move over.
Let me add as well. So while Musk and the SEC were going back and forth on Twitter, Neo doesn't have Twitter because it's illegal in their country. My Tesla stock was doing this like a roller coaster. My Neo stock was going straight up. It was awesome.
Is Neo traded in the States?
Yes. I think it is just straight up NIO. Let me check real quick while you guys go to the next thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, the other thing that that Andrew sent was a couple of pages talking about plug-in car sales, and this comes from
NIO. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this comes from Inside EVs. China is setting records on their plug-in vehicle sales. They exceeded 1 million cars in 2018. And they're just growing. And we know that they want to bring Gigafactory on up to speed as quickly as possible. So they are just China is doing everything they can to just pump as many electric vehicles into the market as possible.
They bumped us to number 2 last year, right?
That's right. They're number 1 in the world now.
Yeah.
But how many of those vehicles are real EVs as opposed to like neighborhood golf cart electric?
I was thinking it. You said it.
Like being see like how many would qualify as legal on U.S. highways versus
maybe just the Neos.
4 can golf cart things that they sell in China.
Maybe, but then again, would you call a lot of what they have streets? But
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, they do. They have lots of streets, but
Well, and if you get hit by an Escalade in a neighborhood electric vehicle, it doesn't
It won't be pretty. Yeah.
Right. But that's the risk they're willing to take. They're buying the cars. At least they're buying electric go-karts instead of 2-stroke diesel, no muffler.
Right.
Was it the Tata Nano?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of these Chinese cars will be coming to North America.
That's the fear
they
of the
do have
local industry.
aspirations to build them for North Americans as well. But you're right, Paul. Not the vast majority, I would say, are not going to qualify for being on the road in North America.
No.
Yep.
that's certainly an issue. I mean, because if they were all built to U.S. crash standards, there would be some mighty fierce import competition.
Can you imagine the crash videos?
And I think you make a really, really good point about the size of the vehicles on average in China versus the size of the vehicles here. You know what I mean? Like your survivability in a small EV in China is probably much, much higher than it is here, where the fleet is
hit by another small crappy car.
Right. Yeah, where the fleet here is so much bigger and so much heavier.
Yeah, I think people, of course we're using cars in the United States as the benchmark, but I would like to think people in other countries are looking at the tanks we drive in the United States and saying, "What the fuck? You really need that?"
You mean like my 7,000-pound automobile for one person to go down the road?
Yeah.
Sure. It usually seats 1, but it could seat 9.
I could seat 7 and tow a trailer.
Uh-huh.
and supercharged to supercharge.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, Tony, is that all?
Yeah, it was. It was
Okay.
the Neo interview, which again, everyone should watch this. I think it's pretty cool. And then, China sales hit 1 million
Sales.
last year.
It's
Mhm.
huge. It's
Yeah.
huge. Well, our final story, or at least our final scheduled story, is certainly the warm-hearted human interest story that I like to end this show with once in a while. And it was brought to us by our own Paul Guzik. So, Paul, let me turn it over to you. Would you like me to put the
All right.
picture on the screen for you?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
I will be happy to do that right now. So you chat.
We're getting close to the end of the show, so I won't get into the details, but the gist of the story is a woman lived in a rural area up in Canada and British Columbia, started going into labor, was trying to get to the hospital, and didn't quite make it in her Prius, but the baby was born in the Prius. So,
And that's why you should have a Prius.
that's right, because you can give birth in it.
It's as big as an operating room. It's just no problem.
Yeah. The only reason I found the story because it had Prius in it, but it's a nice story. The baby and mother are doing fine, and if you ever have to give birth, you can do it in a Prius
It's a very nice story.
in winter in Canada.
And this is here. This is not the mother. I'm thinking this is the 13-year-old. Yeah, this is the 13-year-old daughter who helped.
Okay, I was about to say she looks really young.
No. This is the 13-year-old who helped the birth take place.
Okay,
There she is
that's
holding her
scary.
new baby brother.
Yeah.
And cheers to them.
Yeah.
The Stoll family, I guess. Is that here's oh wow, in a picture in the car after giving birth. That's what your
Yikes.
Prius looks like after
And I like the
November.
quote here. It just seemed that whole drive was the longest drive down the Mountain Creek Road that I'd ever made.
You think?
Stay in there. Wait till we get to the hospital.
Oh my God. How do you manage that? I don't even know.
Yeah. So I think we can now say that there have been more babies born in a Prius than conceived in a Prius.
You never know.
You never know.
I'm willing to bet. 'Cause
you know what?
I don't think of the Prius as a conception machine.
No, it's not
Just
as like a
saying.
When you're a
VW van.
teenager and you've got wheels, wheels are wheels, baby.
My attorney says I'm not supposed to say anything else. I'm listening to her. She's very smart. Any Mark? One more thing?
One more thing.
Go,
Yeah,
Mark.
you've heard about the milk mustache, of course.
Whoa.
Keeping with the winter theme, we thought we would show you this one today.
Oh, that's me. Don't show that. That's
Oh,
horrible.
wrong one. Let me try that again.
That's okay.
Yeah, it jumped on me. There we go.
Oh, look at that.
There's a Washington Tesla that has been out in the snow for a long time.
Oh, baby's got some ice on the front.
That's right.
It does kind of have a mean sort of, but it's
Yeah.
like
It does.
a mustache under the
I love
mouth.
cow.
That's
Yeah,
what's weird.
it's foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, yeah, it's really pissed off.
Yeah, my caption to the person who posted that was what was it? Radar obscured, autopilot disabled.
Nice. Nice. That's wonderful. Well, thank you for that, Mark. Let's do some shout outs and go home. Gentlemen, Casey Green, can I start with you, sir?
Sure. YouTube.com/Casey Green.
Go visit Casey right now. Subscribe to his page. Ring the bell, as Casey likes to say,
Yes.
in which I'm adopting slowly but surely.
And while you're here, do it here too. Thumbs up on this video, ring the bell, and then do it to me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're all one big happy family here. And speaking of one big happy family, Paul,
I don't deserve a shout out because
you
I was,
do. Come
You're
on.
servicing a customer.
but
That's fine.
yeah, unfortunately, I had a customer who was supposed to come earlier today to pick up a car, and I thought he was a no-show, and then he shows up at like 7:02. So sorry
It
about that,
happens.
folks. But
You told him
Business
no
before-
car, right?
before pleasure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we still got your story in.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Is someone's phone ring?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
oh, yeah.
probably another customer calling.
It's another customer that wants it. Hey, is it too late to come by yet?
Yeah, 8 o'clock. Can you come in for an oil change?
I'll be there in about 6 hours.
I bought a Tesla from
20
you. Can I get my
20
oil change?
Yeah.
Mark Coughlin.
Just a shout out to the Waterloo Region EVA. Follow us on Twitter at WREVA Group, and we will see you next week.
Tony Schaefer, bring us home, my friend.
Hold on. I'm typing
Tony's
fun,
got some surprise cooked up.
Yeah, I'm typing in the chat room, which, as always, a shout out to everyone in the chat. Always a lot of fun.
Did I see
to-
Michael Cohen in the chat room today?
He was dropping some truth bombs. Yes.
Do we have a title from the chat room?
We got a few.
Because I got nothing, man.
Yeah, so I suggested Prius Baby. Philip Barclay liked that one,
Okay.
and
I'm writing
Milk
it down.
Mustache is a good one.
Milk mustache is good. Yeah.
So Lee suggested WDU puts customers first, and I replied with at WDU customers always come first. But that might be a little too much of the Patriots owner.
Hey, we're not some cheap $69 massage parlor, okay?
In a
Okay.
strip mall too. It's like,
I know it was like
why should you hire someone to come to your hotel if you're a gazillionaire?
Did anybody get the other details that were posted this morning?
What about Made
No,
in
I didn't see
China?
the point.
Yeah, made in China.
Yeah.
That Kraft on his last visit signed in at 10:59, signed out at 11:13. Thank you. Good night.
You don't want to go there.
Oh man,
Oh,
I think it was. I don't remember who it was, but there was some sort of like it was a two tug rug or something. I have no idea. Yeah, 14
Well,
minutes.
We know he's faster than his ketchup.
Oh,
Gene Wilder's old house.
See, this is what people miss when they bail halfway through the show. I'm
That
just
will make
saying.
sense.
Yeah, there might be a reason for that, Tony.
Anything else, Tony?
So I said facebook.com/whatdrivesus.
Yes.
Of course, like the video, ring the bell, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Shout out to everyone. Let's see, we're on Stitcher, iTunes podcast,
TuneIn.
Yep.
There's another one that I'm forgetting, and I forget. Oh yeah, Spotify.
Spotify.
So if you would rather catch the show's audio instead of watching the videos, you can stream us in your Tesla. You can stream us on your phone, your Apple CarPlay or Google CarPlay or whatever the hell it's called.
Android Auto and Google.
Yeah,
or Apple.
whatever. I have neither, so I don't know.
It's not my
do you have like Entune crap?
Oh, yes, I have Intune. Yeah.
Had to bring that up.
You have Prius Premium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, you can give birth in it.
That is true.
There
I'd like
is,
to see that. That'd be
there
quite
is a
good.
silver lining to
It
it.
is birth approved, man. That is a birth approved vehicle. Well, as always, I want to thank Michael Mannering for our theme music. Visit him at manthing.com. You can support this show for as little as $1 a month, recurring donation. $1 a month, that's less than 25 cents per show. Okay. Patreon.com/whatdrivesusshow. It's patreon.com/whatdrivesusshow. All one word. Go there. Come on. Kick in a buck, please. Thank you. YouTube.com/whatdrivesus. As Casey so aptly said, ring the bell, subscribe, thumbs up, and you'll get a notification. And we appreciate the support. That is a huge, huge benefit for us. So thank you to all 760 people that have subscribed so far. We're shooting for 1,000 and we need your help. That's all I got. Thanks to Paul. Thanks to Casey. Thanks to Tony. And thanks to Mark for being on the show this week.
Yay.
And of course, thanks to all of you. You're the reason we do the show. Tune in next week and find out what drives us.
I still have beer left. Look at that.
Beer's gone. Have a good week, everybody. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
I'm dancing and there's no music. Oh, there we go. Okay. That's a really lame dance. See you later.